Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Manchester United are interested in signing Yves Bissouma, who could pack his bags and leave Brighton on deadline day. Yves Bissouma is rated at 37 million. Aston Villa have reignited their interest. I heard that Villa have submitted a bid of around 40 million euros with add-ons included. Tottenham have also held talks. Yves Bissouma has been at Brighton since 2018. So he's been with them for over 3 years. His contract at Brighton expires next year. Brighton got Yves Bissouma from Lille for an undisclosed fee. He's made 100 appearances for Brighton in the Premier League and he's scored 2 goals. He is the age of 25 and he is a midfielder. Will Manchester United make a signing today? Well, Manchester United want a midfielder because when Rangnick first came in, he identified Manchester United's midfield as a weakness. You know, we've been linked to Boubacar Kamara from Marseille throughout the course of this January transfer window. Marsa said last week that Manchester United were leading the race for Boubacar Kamara, and Boubacar Kamara's most likely destination is the Premier League. Throughout the course of this January transfer window, Man United have been relentlessly linked with Denis Zakaria from Borussia Mönchengladbach. You know, we've been linked with Amadou Haidara from RB Leipzig. Declan Rice and Jude Bellingham have been long-term targets for Man United, and there's been a lot of reports coming out about Ousmane Dembele recently. But Fabrizio Romano said that Man United are not planning to sign Ousmane Dembele. It's said that Man United made a late approach, and Foot Mercato said Manchester United have contacted Ousmane Dembele's agent over the possible move for the Barcelona forward to replace the suspended Mason Greenwood. PSG have been in talks to sign Ousmane Dembele. There's nothing in Ousmane Dembele to Manchester United. Manchester United have loaned quite a few players out in this January transfer window. Manchester United have loaned Donny van der Beek out to Everton until the end of the season. Everton have paid a loan fee and they're paying Donny van der Beek's full wages. But there's no buy option because Manchester United... Just wait there a second, guys. Because Manchester United intend to keep Donny van der Beek for next season. It's the right decision to loan Donny van der Beek out. He'll get a lot more opportunities at Everton. It is Frank Lampard's first signing as Everton manager. Recently, Frank Lampard got appointed in as Everton's new manager to replace Rafa Benitez. By the way, Donny van der Beek has completed his medical ahead of his loan move to Everton. Crystal Palace were in for him. You know, Crystal Palace were in advanced talks with Man United. Manchester United got Van der Beek from Ajax. Manchester United got him for 40 million with add-ons included. We paid 35 million up front and there was 5 million in add-ons. He's got a contract with Man United until 2025. There's an option of a further year, and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. Manchester United also loaned Amad Diallo out to Rangers until the end of the season. There's no buy option. Amad Diallo recently scored on his Rangers debut. Manchester United made the right decision loaning him out because Amad Diallo will gain more experience and he'll get a lot more opportunities at Rangers. Amad Diallo only made a few first team appearances for Man United. Man United got Amad Diallo from Atalanta. We got him in a deal worth 37 million with add-ons included. Man United paid 19 million up front. We also loaned Anthony Martial out to Sevilla until the end of the season. Sevilla didn't pay loan fee and there's no buy option, but Sevilla are paying Martial's full wages until June. And Manchester United also loaned Ethan Laird out. A lot of players are going to depart the club this year. Most of Manchester United's outgoings will be in the summer. Jesse Lingard. Now, like I updated you on my last video, Jesse Lingard is pushing for a loan move to Newcastle. He said Jesse Lingard has agreed personal terms with Newcastle, and he said Jesse Lingard is set to have a meeting with Ralph Rangnick today to discuss his future. Jesse Lingard to Newcastle looks dead in the water because of Manchester United's demands. Manchester United were demanding a loan fee of 15 million. Revert back to earlier on this month, Lingard said he was keen on a loan move to Newcastle, but he said Man United would prefer to let him leave permanently. Lingard rejected an approach from Everton, and West Ham want to re-sign Lingard. At the second half of last season, he endured a 4-month loan spell with West Ham and he made an impact. Lingard's been part of the club for a long time, but he doesn't get in our team. He's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Dean Henderson, he could leave today. Newcastle are in talks over getting him. I think it's on loan. We need to offload Dean Henderson because he doesn't hardly get in goal, because revert back to last summer, De Gea reclaimed that number 1 spot back. Henderson's only made 2 appearances this season. Revert back to earlier on this season, he was out with COVID for a while. But towards the end of last season, Dean Henderson got that number 1 jersey. And he did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. Henderson's got that experience behind him because before he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield United. He's had other loan spells before with Stockport, Grimsby and Shrewsbury. Was it before the start of last season Henderson committed his future to the club because he signed a 5-year contract with Man United with an option of a 6th year. Phil Jones, Man United will have to wait until the summer now to offload him, because Fabrizio Romano recently said that Phil Jones turned down a loan move to Bordeaux. It actually said that Man United had reached an agreement with Bordeaux for Phil Jones to go out on loan in order to get more playing time, and reports from France said that Phil Jones' talks were at the final stages. Rangnick is happy though for Phil Jones to stay. Phil Jones doesn't even get in our team. He did play in the 1-0 defeat to Wolves at Old Trafford earlier on this season because Maguire picked up an injury. And he was our best performer against Wolves. That was his first Premier League appearance since January 2020. Jones is only the outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. this season is his 11th season at Man United, so he's been a long-serving player. Jones's contract at Man United expires next year. Eric Bailly, he'll leave the club this year. Bailly doesn't really get in the team. Bailly lost his place in the team a while ago, obviously with Man United signing Varane last summer, and for some reason Lindelof has been preferred to Eric Bailly. Don't know why, because Bailly's a far superior centre-half to Lindelof. Bailly's been at the African Cup of Nations. The last game he played for Manchester United was the 3-1 win against Burnley, but he came off injured in that game. He is injury prone, is Bailly, which is a concern. Revert back to earlier on in this window, Damasio came out and said that Bailly agreed to join AC Milan. And it said Bailly was extremely interested in a move to Italy. Back in April last year, Bailly signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. Man United got Bailly from Villarreal back in 2016. Manchester United paid 30 million for him. We brought him in under the Jose Mourinho era. Do you think Tellez will leave the club this year? I hope he doesn't, because I've been impressed with him under Rangnick. Tellez is our first choice left back under Rangnick. Matic, he'll also leave the club this year. Mata will leave the club. Cavani, he will leave in the summer. Because revert back to earlier on this season, Ralph Rangnick revealed that Edison Cavani wants to stay at Man United till the end of the season. Cavani's out of contract at Man United in the summer. River Plate are considering a transfer for Edison Cavani to replace Julian Alvarez. Julian Alvarez has agreed to go to Man City, but he's going on loan to River Plate until the end of the season. Then after that he will officially be a Man City player. And Ronaldo, there's a good chance that he'll be departing the club in the summer, because Ronaldo is unhappy at Manchester United. Well, it's already said that Ronaldo will leave Man United in the summer if they fail to qualify for the Champions League, and Ronaldo faces a 25% pay cut should Man United fail to qualify for the Champions League. Reports from Spain said the other week that Ronaldo could be heading back to Real Madrid. Before, Ronaldo endured like 9.5 years at Real Madrid. That's before he went to Juventus, and Ronaldo's already asked his agent Jorge Mendes to find him another club. And Harry Maguire and Wan-Bissaka could be leaving Man United in the summer. Like I updated you the other day, Manchester United could lose 15 players to free contracts in the next 18 months. And Rangnick mentioned not so long ago that he's willing to let 4 players leave following the emergence of Anthony Elanga. Yeah. And of course, you know the news on Mason Greenwood. It's sickening what Mason Greenwood has done. As you all know, Mason Greenwood has been suspended by Manchester United following allegations on social media. Yesterday, Mason Greenwood was arrested on suspicion of rape and assault. So reflecting on this, Mason Greenwood's career at Manchester United is over. And also his England career is over. Before the news came out about, Greenwood getting arrested, Man United issued a statement saying that Greenwood would not return to training or play any more matches until further notice. Mason Greenwood's been part of the club for a long time. He joined Manchester United at the age of 6. He made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. And since he broke into our senior squad, he's made 129 appearances and he's scored over 30 goals. Last season, Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract. He's only the age of 20. And Paul Pogba, he's willing to stay at Man United as long as Ralph Rangnick, is manager for next season. Paul Pogba has been impressed by Ralph Rangnick since his arrival. Pogba is open to signing a new contract at Manchester United. Pogba's out of contract at Man United in the summer. Revert back to the other month, like I've mentioned so many times, the Sun came out and said that Man United offered Paul Pogba a new £500,000 a week contract. That would have made Pogba the highest paid player in Premier League history. But Pogba actually came out and denied that he'd been offered that contract. The good news is, from a Man United perspective, that Paul Pogba is set to return after the international break. Rangnick confirmed that the other week. Pogba has been out with injury for a while. He is injury prone. He's endured quite a few injuries since he re-signed for the club. This season is Pogba's 6th season at Manchester United since he re-signed. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. Pogba's played 212 times and he's scored 38 times since he re-signed. And Manchester United paid £89 million for Pogba, so reflecting on that, is our most expensive sign at the moment. We had him when he was a lot younger under the Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. So there you go. Manchester United have won the last 2 league games in a row. The other week would beat West Ham 1-0. Reflecting on the win against West Ham, that moved Manchester United into the top 4. Marcus Rashford scored in the 93rd minute of stoppage time against West Ham. And obviously Man United beat Brentford 3-1. Manchester United are considering offering Ralph Rangnick the job on a permanent basis, because last week he said Manchester United put their search for a new manager on hold after being impressed by Ralph Rangnick since he took charge in December. Rangnick has 5 wins from 8 league games so far. He's only lost 1 game and he's managed 10 games in all competitions, and he's progressed Manchester United to the 4th round of the FA Cup. Apparently Rangnick will receive a £500,000 bonus if he leads Manchester United to a top 4 finish. Rangnick earns £180,000 a week. Rangnick is Man United's interim manager until the end of the season. Then it did say that Rangnick will continue in a consultancy role for a further 2 years. Revert back to earlier on this season, Rangnick was under pressure because there was reports coming out saying that Rangnick was already losing the dressing room and 17 Manchester United players were unhappy and wanted to leave. But despite that, it said Rangnick was going to be backed by the Glazers. Manchester United changed formation under Rangnick. As you all know, the new formation is the 4-3-3 formation. To be honest with you, that formation seems to suit our standards under Rangnick. Obviously, the 4-2-2 formation got scrapped because quite clearly that wasn't working. Earlier on this season, Rangnick recommended Ewan Sharping as an assistant coach and analyst. He also recommended Chris Armisen as an assistant coach, and he also brought in Saz Challens as a sports psychologist. So reflecting on that, he has made changes since he's come in. Before Man United, Rangnick was the head of sports and development at Lokomotiv Moscow. I'm hoping Rangnick can win a trophy this season. At Man United, Manchester United have not won a trophy since 2017. That's nowhere near good enough to our standards. And Man United have not won the Premier League since 2013. That's 9 years ago now. As you all know, Ed Woodward is stepping down at the end of this month. It got announced back in April last year that Woodward was leaving when that European Super League came into the equation. Ed Woodward has had a 17-year association at the club, but he's been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. Said Richard Arnold will replace Ed Woodward as the new chief executive on the 1st of February, which is obviously tomorrow. The Glazers, they've been one of the biggest issues at the club for a long time. The Glazers have owned Manchester United for around 16 and a half years. They bought the club for 500 million back in 2005. Revert back to April last year. The Glazers obviously were planning to scrap the Champions League for that European Super League. And reflecting on that, Manchester United fans protested against the Glazers at the Carrington training ground and at Old Trafford. Towards the end of last season, it said the Glazers were willing to sell Man United, but for only $4 billion. Man United have not been the same team since Ferguson. Man United have sacked 4 permanent managers since Ferguson. You know, he sacked David Moyes, Louis van Gaal, Jose Mourinho, and last year Man United sacked Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But no one's going to replicate what Ferguson did at the club. Ferguson, greatest manager of all time. Alex Ferguson brought success to Manchester United. He won 30-odd trophies, including 13 Premier League titles. But there again, he didn't settle in straight away, Ferguson, because he didn't win out in his first 4 years at Man United. Good job he didn't get sacked in that 4 years he didn't win. And if you know, Man United wouldn't have had any success now. Alex Ferguson was at Manchester United for 26 years, so reflecting on that, he was a long-serving manager. The only mistake Ferguson made was recommending David Moyes in when he retired. But the reasons he did that is because both Scottish and Ferguson had a lot of time for Moyes. It was 9 years ago Ferguson retired from Man United. He retired back in 2013, didn't he? So Manchester United's next game is Middlesbrough in the FA Cup 4th round at Old Trafford. It's Friday the 4th of February. The last time Man United and Middlesbrough played each other was back in March 2017, and Man United won that game 3-1. I'm expecting Rangnick to rotate for the game against Middlesbrough in the Cup. Manchester United got to the 4th round of the FA Cup by beating Aston Villa 1-0 in the 3rd round. Middlesbrough, they got to the 4th round of the FA Cup by beating Mansfield in the 3rd round. Middlesbrough, of course, are in the Championship. I do know quite a few of the players Middlesbrough have got. Obviously, they've got Josh Coburn. They've got Aaron Connolly, Isaiah Jones, Andras Sporer, Duncan Watmore. They also have Riley McGree. They've got Johnny Howson. They've got Paddy McNair. They've got Matt Crooks, Neil Taylor. They've got Mark Boller. Mark Boller's out with injury at the moment. They've also got Marcus Brown. He's out with injury. So they are quite a few of the players that Middlesbrough do have. Their manager is Chris Wilder. Middlesbrough appointed him in last year to replace Neil Warnock. I think Neil Warnock got sacked. Chris Wilder's managed quite a few clubs in his managerial career. Before, he managed Sheffield United. I remember when he was in the Premier League with Sheffield United. Before then, he managed Northampton. Before then, managed Oxford. A while ago, managed Halifax, and before, managed Alfred Town. I think at one point, he was the Bury assistant. Manchester United's next league game is Burnley. That's on the 8th of February. By the way, Burnley have just signed Wout Weghorst, if I pronounce his name correctly, from Wolfsburg. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you with. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel if you do. Consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.